Here's a strange question. Why does a task you chose, a task you actually want to complete, suddenly feel dangerous the moment you're about to start it? Nothing bad will happen if you fail. No one is watching, there's no real consequence. And yet, your body reacts like there is. You don't feel lazy, you feel blocked. That reaction isn't random. And it's not the main problem, it's the first warning. Most people stop here. They assume the resistance is the issue, so they look for motivation or better habits. But the resistance is only the surface response. What actually stops you is layered, and each layer is more damaging than the last. If you don't understand the mechanics of these layers, you'll spend your life fighting a ghost. At the first level, it looks harmless. You delay, you reorganize, you tell yourself you're preparing. You still feel productive, which is the trap. Because as long as you're adjusting the environment, you don't have to test yourself. Nothing is lost yet. This level feels safe, and that's why people stay here for years. They become experts at getting ready for a life they never actually start. Then something subtle happens. The task stops being something you're doing and starts representing who you think you are. The work becomes a mirror. If you don't start, the image stays clean. You can still tell yourself you're a genius or a high achiever, but if you do start, that image gets evaluated. So your mind creates distance. Not because the task is hard, but because the result might contradict the story you're protecting. This feels manageable, but it's the beginning of the end for your creative output. Here's where it turns dangerous. Avoidance starts feeling like a strategic choice. You tell yourself you'll do it when you're clearer, or when it feels right. That delay feels intelligent. It feels responsible. But you are quietly choosing certainty over exposure. Not success over failure, certainty over uncertainty. And certainty always favors stagnation. You are training your nervous system to believe that staying still is the only way to remain safe. This part is easy to miss because nothing collapses immediately. You still think, you still plan, you still imagine better outcomes, but your execution is rotting. Your tolerance for being visibly bad at something is disappearing. Over time, the gap widens. Your standards rise because you're consuming great work, but your output shrinks because you aren't producing any. That gap doesn't create urgency. It creates paralysis. You become a world-class critic who can no longer move their own hands. This is the layer most people never name. Eventually, avoidance becomes self-defining. You don't say, "I'm avoiding this." You say, "I'm a perfectionist. That's not how I work. I just operate differently." The behavior has hardened into an identity. At that point, starting isn't just uncomfortable, it's destabilizing. Because movement now threatens the person you've spent years pretending to be. Most people choose to protect the ghost of their potential rather than face the reality of their current skill level. This is why simple advice fails. This isn't about effort or discipline. It's about what staying still protects and what starting would expose. You are trading your future for the comfort of not being judged. Most people never confront that trade. They just live inside it until they die. I'm not going to give you a motivational speech. If you've recognized yourself in these layers, the responsibility is now yours. Go to the comments. Type out the one task you have been treating like a predator for the last month. Name it. Then, I want you to close this video and spend exactly 180 seconds on that task. Don't try to make it good. Try to make it visible. Disturb the safety of your stagnation. If you can't handle 3 minutes of being average, then you've already accepted the lock-in. Just start.